This is Stakepool Teamspeak, Stakepool Radio. Ask me anything. Interview between the community of Stakepool.com and Sasha Ivanov of the Waves platform.
We are online with Sasha Ivanov, CEO of the Waves platform, here on Stakepool Teamspeak today. And Sasha, why don't you start giving us the intro of what is Wave platform and
could you include what inspired you?
Yeah, okay, guys. Do you have any echo? Because I don't have headphones right now. Is it okay, or I should find...
User entered your channel.
No, you're fine.
Okay, great. So, Waves platform
User in your channel
is
started
about making blockchain technology accessible for an average user. So we're gonna approach mass market to offer something that could change and disrupt existing industries, such as fundraising, crowdfunding, value transfer. So basically, our pitch is blockchain for the people, blockchain for the masses. And we are focusing on something which can be really changed now. I think that two things are especially interesting. They are crowdfunding, fundraising, and value transfer. So what we are doing is creating a decentralized crowdfunding platform like Kickstarter based on blockchain, so that any user from all over the world could issue his or her shares to sell it to people, and users could trade them. It's all going to be decentralized. Also, it's all going to be based on national currencies. You will be able to crowdfund with dollars, with euros, not only with bitcoins. So it will be really easy for an average user to use the system to start his or her crowdfunding project, to trade the shares, to transfer value. Also, some money remittance applications are considered, and we are talking with different companies who are working in money remittance. So we're focusing on mass market adoption with our platform.
so audience, come with your questions to Sasha.
What's the timeline for the exchange? Are we talking 3 months, 4 months until the decentralized exchange is ready to be launched?
Timeline for launching at exchanges, or I didn't hear. Sorry.
Sorry. When you open the Waves wallet, the Lite client in the Google Chrome, it says that the decentralized exchange will be launched in the last quarter of 2016. I was wondering, is there a hard date for that?
No, actually, we are going to have it probably in the fall of this year. So the timeline is like that. Right now we are implementing token creation and transfer, and we are working with several gateways, payment providers, who are going to implement and maintain fiat currencies. So they're going to be the market makers for USD, for Euro. So we're going to have Euro and USD within a couple months on our platform, and within 3 to 4 months we are going to have the exchange, the decentralized exchange, where you'll be able to trade your tokens for fiat. So it's going to be the first decentralized exchange where you can trade against fiat currencies.
Is all of this going to be put into a roadmap? Because I know there was a roadmap released, mainnet release, and then the exchange was supposed to be on the 14th. Are you going to make a new roadmap with all this stuff?
Probably yes, because we are trying to move faster. So I can see that we can do that. So in this year, in the fall, we're definitely going to have the decentralized exchange.
You have some overwhelming response on the crowdfunding. we've seen other projects similar to Waves, but not the capital. Horizon, NXT, BitShares, and as many people have pointed out, the assets listed there and traded there, they are not worth anything to anyone. So how will Waves be different in that setting?
So we are focusing on real business. So it's not about some crypto anarchism or stuff like that. So we're going to work with real businesses with proper registration and offer them a possibility to raise funds on blockchain. So it's not about issuing some fancy token that has no real value. It's about issuing real tokens, real financial instruments, and trading them and selling them for real money. We're not trying to invent new money. I think that blockchain platforms have to work with existing money, with dollars, with euros. So, and there is Bitcoin that has to be the money, the decentralized money. So we're not going to invent any new money. We're going to work with existing monetary systems. And I think that NXT was just a test for this approach, and it shows that there is a strong interest, and it can be used for many business areas. So I think it's time to approach real business and make some kind of a crowdfunding revolution, because crowdfunding is becoming the mainstream way to raise money. Probably we are experiencing some kind of a revolution where people, where projects will approach the people to raise money. They will approach the end users for crowdfunding for funds. So when they approach their end users, they have funds, they have testers, they have user base, they have feedback. So I think it just eliminates the middleman, venture funds and banks. So it's going to be more effective for certain projects, probably not for all, but for very many projects that are community oriented. It's going to be a game changer, I think. So obviously you know about the recent success of DAO, about our success. So I think that crowdfunding is on the rise and is going to become the mainstream way to raise funds.
Can you tell a little bit more about how fiat currency comes into play? How we've been talking about local currency. I'm from Norway. We got the Norwegian krona there. I live in Peru. They got Peruvian soles here. Are you going to use the major fiat currencies, or will it be possible to remittance local currencies?
Sure, we're going to have a local market maker in each country potentially, in the future. So any institution that is allowed to do so, that has an appropriate license, can issue and maintain their fiat tokens. I'm talking about payment systems or banks. Probably it would be more interesting for payment systems to issue such tokens. So in any country, in Peru or in Norway, a local payment system can issue their fiat token, and we can't limit that. It's a decentralized system. We are providing the technology. We are not providing the legal backing. So if they are allowed to do so, they can do it. And thus we're obtaining a system where all the national currencies are represented and maintained by local players, by local companies. So it would be possible to do fundraising, crowdfunding in local currencies in many countries, potentially in all countries where there is interest for this. So, and the approach is, it stems from Ripple actually. So Ripple was the first system to implement fiat gateways. So we're not inventing the wheel here, we're just using this approach. It's not pegged approach that BitShares uses. It's like real backing by real money, because I think this is the best way to proceed here. Backed currencies and BitShares probably are not sustainable. Of course, you can have problems also with backing with market makers if they go bankrupt, for example. But it's another question, actually. So our approach is more traditional. We are using fiat gateways that were invented in Ripple, and thus we are providing fiat currency infrastructure potentially for almost any country in the world.
Is there a way for fraud prevention in Waves platform? I do know Waves platform is not responsible for users' actions, so in this case, a user can invest in something, but well, it doesn't make sense to me. The user is responsible for everything, so it's kind of
So
that's what I meant. That's fine.
Absolutely. Actually, when we're working with fiat gateways, they have to do KYC, AML. So they have to do that. So we are living in a real world, so we can't escape doing KYC and AML. So institutions that are going to maintain fiat currencies will have these procedures in place. So they will limit, they will reduce the amount of some
Fraud.
bad situations. Yeah. So and actually. Also, we are going to implement a decentralized reputation system, some kind of a decentralized karma or some reputation system, business level, where every account on Waves platform is going to have some kind of a business level or reputation level. So people would be able to estimate the possibility of some default or fraud. So it's some kind of a decentralized KYC AML. So where community vets the asset issuers, and probably if you can see that the asset issuer has a low score, a low business level, you don't buy his shares. So I think this is a way to proceed with KYC and AML. Eventually it has to be decentralized, so some centralization is needed. It has been needed, so because you can't get rid of bad players, but as the technology develops, some other ways to do KYC and AML are going to emerge. So we're gonna try to implement decentralized KYC and AML. So the bad players won't be able to harm the users, and probably we can't guarantee that there won't be any fraud, but we're gonna try to build a new way to prevent fraud.
User in your channel timed out.
Which can be really used by by centralized institutions in future.
Thank you for your answer.
How big do you see the market for Waves platform? What are your numbers?
I think it's huge because we're experiencing a great surge in interest for crowdfunding. So I think that
User in your channel timed out.
We are gonna have a very huge market if we can implement decentralized crowdfunding platform. If it can be really backed legally, we don't provide that. We provide the technology, but I think that people will be able to figure it out how to proceed. So it's completely legal in their countries, and probably the law will have to be a little bit changed in order to meet the demand for crowdfunding. So lawmakers are going to modify the existing laws, because I don't think that it can be a problem that it can lead to some higher level of fraud if we implement reputation systems and similar things. So I think that the whole business infrastructure of fundraising, of managing your business, because you can also do some community-based business here. You can do voting. You can vote on the decisions the company makes, on the directions of development. It all is going to change. So we are making this real. I think we're trying to make this real. So I think this is the point in history where technology is going to change the way human society operates regarding business, the way people do business. So it will eliminate different middlemen. It will streamline the business processes. So we are working on making decentralization technologies useful for existing businesses. And we're going to disrupt fundraising, money transfer at first, and then we'll see where we can go from there.
I have seen through a lot of local exchanges and international exchanges. Nasdaq have 3,000 companies listed. There is a lot more companies in the world than 3,000 companies, but that is what they have, and they are performing something in New York called capital centralization around these major marketplaces of old times. How do you think, if we look at 10 years from now, no matter what happens, but 10 years from now, how do you see Waves platform, New York Stock Exchange, Nasdaq? What are you going to say to all those people that work on Wall Street that won't have anything to do in 10 years from now?
Probably they're going to have something to do, because they're developing their own blockchain systems, permissioned ledgers and stuff like that. So Waves platform is providing some kind of an alternative for business. So we are working on an open blockchain platform that can be used by anybody. But there is another development, permissioned ledgers. So probably they will develop too, and probably in 10 years we won't win. So we will live together with them, probably. So and I think that huge companies, I don't know, IBM and other companies will trade on centralized exchanges still in 10 years. Time when all is decentralized is probably will come a little later. So we are approaching probably some kind of other projects, open source projects, cryptocurrencies, also medium businesses, like medium-sized businesses, and we are gonna focus on that. I don't really believe that banks will shift to open blockchains within several years. In the future, yes, but for that, blockchain technology has to evolve. So, because probably it's not ready for big banks. So it doesn't have the speed due to innate latency that blockchain have. You can't do high-frequency trading. You can't do many things. You can do certain operations like settlement, like issuing financial instruments, but you can do things that require really high velocity. So I think that the time where everything is going to be on blockchains and decentralized will come a little bit later. So we are focusing on things that can be done right now. We don't want to wait. We don't want to really wait for some serious advance in technology, we're going to use the existing technology for disruption of as many business areas as possible.
We got a user here in the chat here that is asking about. Let's see. He's asking. We need facts. He says. Number 1, where is the buy walls? And number 2, when Polo will be added? And number 3, where all this Bitcoin went? Where is the report?
Where buy walls are set at the Bittrex right now. Polo, we gave them everything. I talked to them yesterday, so they, I don't know when they will, when they are going to launch waves on Polo. Probably you can ask them. I don't know, because we gave them everything. As for the bitcoins, so it was in the escrow account, so we will transfer it to the waves account, and it's going to be there. So you're gonna be able to see where the Bitcoin is. So, and some Bitcoin is going to be used for buy walls, for paying the salaries. So like normal things that has to be done.
Yes, Baz, there's 600-700 Bitcoin buy support. And Ponyx is probably taking their time to accumulate on tracks.
Sorry, can you speak a little louder?
I was replying to Baz. He says there's no buy walls in Metro.
There are buy walls naturally. They are set there. So they are there. You can see them actually there. Yeah, I'm gonna take a look now, but they have been set.
Also, Sasha, specifically on the regulatory bodies which will be used, will it be like a centralized regulatory body, or like a community-driven regulation?
So we're gonna follow the same way as Ethereum. We're gonna have the foundation. So we are registering a foundation company. We're starting this in Germany, and so it is going to have the board so it's going to be a community of people who will oversee the development, and of course we are very community oriented. So I'm trying to build a community based project. So I'm going to really approach the community for all important decisions, because I think that development of blockchain systems have to be community based. So you have to work for your community. So naturally, this is the goal, to meet the community demands. And so that's how we are going to approach this. But answering the governance question, we're going to have a foundation, the Waves Foundation. So and the oversight of the development will be carried out by its members.
How long time frame have you budget for the future?
You mean budget for how long do we have the money? I mean, we have money for development, that's for sure. So, and we will also be publishing our financial reports. So, how much we spend on development, on marketing, on everything.
Very nice.
What's the price of a colored coin, and to get it posted on the exchange?
What's the price? Or I didn't hear. Sorry.
How much does it cost to create a colored coin?
Okay, it's gonna be very, very cheap actually. we are thinking about two types of assets. So one type of assets is going to be cheaper than the other. It's not finalized. So there are going to be some kind of more centralized assets that are going to have some properties like with faster transfers and stuff like that. And they are going to be more expensive. And so they will be used for crowdfunding and for other things, financially sensitive. And there are going to be more simple type of tokens that can be issued for pennies. So if you want to issue some test token, you can do it very cheaply. So and when you want to issue some shares and raise funds with them, probably it's going to cost you more, and you will have to have some reputation level for this.
So that's the way you will prevent asset and token spam on the Waves platform?
Sorry, can you please repeat?
That's going to be the way of asset and token spam prevention on the Waves platform?
Absolutely, yeah. You have to have fees like in Bitcoin. You have to charge people to do anything on your platform. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of spam. So, of course, it's going to cost you to issue anything or to do anything on the platform. You can't do without a native token, yet you can have certain setups on blockchain without native tokens, but it's more complicated. So for now, we're going to have the native token as any other production level blockchain system, and you're going to have to pay this native token in order to do anything on the platform.
That's very good. I'm interested in the staking feature, LPOS in Waves platform. When is that coming out in the future?
Oh yeah, we're going to work on the POS algorithm right now to make it more secure, and after that we're going to have to combine the DPOS invented by BitShares with the account leading that was used in NXT. So light clients are able to mine, to forge, so they can also earn some waves for supporting the network. But they don't have the computational power for this, and they don't have to stay online. So they just lease their balance out to full nodes that do the actual forging. So we're gonna work on that algorithm within 2 months. So I think in the fall we're gonna have it. So we have two directions of development. We are implementing assets, tokens, and at the same time, we are working on the consensus algorithm. So it's two parallel developments. So two different programmers will work on this. So we're going to be able to implement this at the same time. So within 3 months approximately, we're going to have the secure POS with account leasing. This is my plan, and I'm going to work on implementing it as fast as possible.
That's nice. I would like to know what happens if a full node goes offline and the user has leased their tokens to that node. Do the tokens get returned?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, naturally, yes. So you don't lose control of your tokens. So it's like an NXT. So you just lease out the forging power to the node, and the full node it stays much more time online than the light nodes. So it can effectively forge and mine, and when you lease your balance out, you make the forging of the full node more effective. but at the same time you don't lose control of your coins. So we are implementing two technologies that were tested. It's depose and account lease in NXT, depose in BitShares and account lease in NXT. That should work and provide some incentive for usage of the Light wallet, because you don't just use it, you can also earn some fees, some transaction fees if you use it.
I also, the one interesting question, I'm a translator myself, and I would like to know if Waves is going to have a multilingual UI. I would be able to translate into two local languages, Hungarian and Romanian, and if that would be needed.
Absolutely. Just contact me on Slack or wherever you can find me, and we'll set this up.
Right.
Sure.
I
Thank you.
I worked on Lisk, and I was really interested in Waves, but I noticed the project a bit late.
Thank you. Join our team.
So, Big Kush and Loop Trader have similar questions in the chat here. I'm gonna read what they write and you can answer them. Can we expect that another nodes will be on within 2 months? Because now, if your node is turning off, the whole blockchain is stuck, Big Kush says. And Loop Trader says, is there any incentive to run a full node on a bigger machine rather than on a Raspberry Pi? How do you take into account the resources provided by a node? How does a Light wallet contribute to the network besides leasing?
So the full node code will be released probably in August, I think. So we have to tread lightly with this, so as not to have any problems in the network. So I think it's needed after many problems that cryptocurrency arena had recently. We should move probably a little bit slower. I like to move fast, but we have to be really confident that we have a secure system. So as soon as we are sure that our POS algorithm is secure, we're going to release the full node into the open. So it's going to happen in August, I think. What the other question, why the full node has to run on a powerful machine rather than on a Raspberry Pi. So probably it's a computational incentive operation that full node execute, because we're gonna have such a setup where all the sensitive operations are carried out by the full nodes. We're going to push all hard stuff to the full nodes. I think we're going to have also contracts, some type of contracts, not like in Ethereum. Okay, the same goal, but probably different realization. They're going to be more centralized, and they're going to be running on the full nodes. So the full nodes have to be computationally capable of carrying out, complicated operations. So probably in the long run, probably within 2 years, most of system operations will have to run on the full nodes. This approach is really something like the opposite to what Ethereum proposes. But I think because they try to build such a system where the whole network can be run on on home PCs. I think it's a great goal, but some also probably not so fancy approaches have to be tested. So we're gonna have to try to move all the network processing to several thousand nodes, more or less like in Bitcoin, because in any system decentralized, system, some kind of centralization emerges. So you can see that even in such a decentralized system as Bitcoin, you have structure. So you have several thousand nodes who runs the network, because initially it was all decentralized, but some structure emerges. So I think that makes sense to replicate this structure right at start. So all the sensitive stuff, all the computationally sensitive stuff is pushed to the full nodes. This is another approach. I think it's like we could have less problems with this. Probably in the long run, you will be able to maintain a global payment network that beats Visa network in transaction speed on your Raspberry Pis. But at the moment, I think we have to build a system where a decentralized system, an open system, where anybody can just rent a server from a data center and run a full node, earn transaction fees. Okay, it can be computationally hard, and it can cost some money, but in any case, it's an open system, and anyone can enter it and support it. And the users who don't want to support the network, they will just use the light clients, and the light clients can be run on any PC, on any mobile phone, so they don't need any computational resources actually. It's a very simple approach probably, but it is robust, so I think that it should be really pursued, this approach, and it's like more realistic in my opinion.
Could you talk about the use case of the smart contracts? Would they be used for paying out dividends or?
You're gonna have to turn your mic up.
Hello.
Did anybody hear that
is
question?
This better now?
Did anybody else hear that question? Yeah, that's perfect. No.
All right. I was talking about the smart contracts you mentioned earlier. Would that be used for payments for dividends, for example? Would it be used for something else?
Yeah, we're gonna have. It's not decided yet. We are just starting to think about that. But what we want to do is to use some kind of proof of execution approach, where nodes can evaluate if the full nodes who run the contracts actually executed the code correctly. So the contracts won't have to run on all the nodes on the network, because it obviously has some scalability problems. Only the full nodes will execute the code, the contract's code, and other nodes, light clients, and other full nodes on the network will be able to evaluate if the code was executed correctly by some kind of a proof of execution approach. So at least this is our goal. This is the approach which we are going to implement. And the contracts can be used for basically anything. So probably if you run the contracts on the full nodes, probably it can be more complicated. More complicated.
I have a security question.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, because I've heard a lot of different things. There's one matter that I haven't heard from you yet, and that is this. And it's a little unsettling. It's hard to ask you about, but I'm going to. So in recent events of us seeing a large hack or maybe a hack, maybe an orchestration on secure contracts or more nodes, too much, I'm going to just almost call it too much going on in the Ethereum blockchain caused perhaps a oversight on security, which caused them to fail to secure what's supposed to be decentralized funds, and has had those funds evacuated from their network. Now, my question is, are you taking extra special measures to watch out for the following? Now, this is going to be weird. Billionaire hackers who are going to try and destroy the network. Undecentralizing things by billionaires who are going to attempt to own 500 nodes or 5,000 nodes. Because when that person buys in that heavy and owns all those nodes, that kind of takes decentralization away a little bit. So are you going to try and limit the amount of nodes? Like, and I know I'm going to ask like too many questions here, so I'm just going to stick to security. Are you taking any special measures to watch out for espionage against your network, because these are real issues and they're really happening as we've just witnessed in the last few weeks?
Yes, absolutely. I think you can't really get the full decentralization right now. Okay, it has to be really, controlled by some centralized authority right now. So you can see it everywhere. The event you are referring to is a great example of this. So, and probably it will be resolved in a very centralized manner.
Can you throttle the reward system or something? I don't know how the back end works, but I know that whatever happened to the Ethereum coin, there was no throttling. Stuff went out so fast it was too late. I don't know if you're allowed to put in extra security measures so that people can't destroy our need for these smart contracts, because if this happens again and somebody else does this again, smart contracts are going to get killed. They're not going to be called smart anymore.
Sure, yes, I think, I love Ethereum, naturally. It's a great thing, but it provides too many opportunities, because the code is immutable. You can't change the code once it's committed to the network. And, you can't control how it's going to develop, So at this stage, we are not able to do it like that, I think. We have to have some more centralization. We have to have mutable contracts which can be turned off. So there are some special checks should be in place when you deal with money. So all money transfers probably have to be confirmed by some kind of a centralized, some kind of a quorum. You have to have, what happened in DAO is, can be really easily avoided, in some different setup.
They lost insight there, kind of. I hear where you're going with it. I can even hear your insight, and I can hear you're ready for these things, which is good, because I tell lots of people to invest in different stuff, and I want to make sure I am telling them it confidently, because everybody knows I crapped on DAO just before it smashed. The part of all of this is that if you allow an outside like DAO with using your blockchain, so that's the part I haven't really got clear. You're gonna be careful of those kind of things. But the thing that I think that could have solved this problem was when somebody has a larger than, say, 5% of the network wealth to be moved around on the network, it could have went to some sort of decentralized vote. And then the network could have decided whether that was a legitimate transaction. I know it sounds weird and absurd, because we're all trying to make this decentralized network that can be autonomous and work on its own. But what I've learned is that computers make mistakes because humans aren't perfect yet, and we are the ones coding them.
Sure, actually, blockchain systems are not only technical systems. They're like social systems, especially when you deal with consensus algorithm, because POS has to be really, POS algorithm has to be really, it's secure when you have some kind of a distribution where no one has more than 10% of all the coins. You have to have an even distribution to have a secure POS system. So it's the same like in society. You can't have one party controlling all the funds, all the resources. So blockchain systems are actually social systems. They are not not only technology dictates the way the system behaves. Actually, you can't even prove that blockchain systems are secure, because there is no mathematical proof of that. It can be done, because blockchain technology and Bitcoin, it breaks some laws, which are proven in distributed computing, probably there is some kind of a asymptotic consensus, but you can prove that you really have consensus even in Bitcoin. So it's really based on the behavior of all the players in the network. Obviously, you can break the Bitcoin now because big mining pools control it. So it's obvious that Bitcoin depends on the behavior of certain mining pools and the core development team. So also decentralized systems at this stage have to depend on their maintainers, on the players who use them. So we are not that far at the moment. So we have to have some governance and some centralized oversight for this, naturally. So to make decentralized systems secure. And when you go too fast, when you move too fast, when you lose control, like in DAO, because when you commit the contract to the blockchain in Ethereum, you lose control. It just works. So whatever you do, it just works. If there is a bug, it will stay there. So you can't really change anything. So at this stage, we have to move probably a little bit slower and to use what is secure to really, to make things better, to make the world a better place and stuff like that. We can't move too fast. We have to use the technologies which are proven, and to use them to their maximum.
So we have a user here, Big Kush, that asks, he have heard from the Lisk developer Max that Waves team is going to arrange a conference in Moscow at the 1st of July. Is it true? May we come to your conference? He wants to shake your hand.
Sure, Max told me that he's coming to Moscow, so I'm going to arrange some meetup and meet him and invite people who want to know more about Lisk platform, and I'll be happy to meet Max in Moscow. And there is huge interest here in Lisk, so I think it's going to be very interesting for everybody, for Max and for us too, and for all the people who are interested in blockchain technology in Moscow.
Saint Nuke 1 asks, what is the marketing plan to acquire new customers? How will people who want to do a crowd sale know that Waves exist?
We are going to have a very active marketing campaign, so I think I have a good public relations team and probably good media connections. And we're going to have some cases of hopefully successful crowdfunding campaigns. So yesterday I met BioViva team. This is a biotech project which uses genetical treatment. They try to modify the cells in your body to prevent them from aging. So they make cells. They make cells younger in a way. So, and this is a technology that can sound really, from some fantastic movie, but it's not like that. So it was tested on animals, on mice for years, and it's time to try to use it for humans. So I think it's a great possibility that it's gonna work. So, and they have some obstacles in USA, because you have to do some clinic trials for your medicine, for your treatment, and it costs really a lot in USA, and it's some kind of a venture project, and big pharmaceutical companies, they don't invest because it's probably too risky. So it's a perfect case for crowdfunding because they can approach the users, because everyone wants to live longer. Everyone wants that their children live longer. So it's a perfect case for crowdfunding. So I think that they are going to launch, we plan to launch their token on this platform, and we're going to see how it works. I think it can be really, really successful. Also, we have other projects that are interested. You know, there is a huge interest now in crowdfunding. Actually, we don't have to look for companies. They all are coming. All are coming to us. You know, because people can feel that this is a way to raise money, to attract attention to their project. This is a way to proceed in this changing business environment now. So I don't think if we have a successful platform technologically, I don't think we will have to advertise it really hard, because people are going to come to us.
Just a quick insert on that, because I know there's a lot. I saw the questions, and people are kind of asking about how are you going to promote, and just what you just answered there. I'm going to say but. I know it's kind of rude, but we probably feel differently, that we kind of would like to know, instead of this liquid, get it known organically, we would actually kind of like to see a little bit of promotion. You know, maybe in a tech magazine, in something different than the same old crypto gag on. We kind of know, you know, Coinbase doesn't thrill us too much. You know?
Yeah, sure, yeah, we are doing that too. We are doing that too. We are approaching mainstream media. Sure, I'm going to have an article in Forbes. I'm talking to some journalists from Forbes, for example, right now. So we are approaching the mainstream media too. So we started with the cryptocurrency media, of course, because we are approaching the people who know what we are doing, you know, and cryptocurrency people are our, like, you know, natural backers. But after that, we'll have to approach the mainstream media, and we are in the process of doing so. So we are gonna approach the mainstream media, and because what we are trying to do, we are trying to make blockchain technology really, you know, like widespread, and so people don't really know that it runs on blockchain. It's hidden under the hood. What they see is, like, you know, more or less usual interfaces, like online banking interfaces, like brokerage interfaces, but under the hood it runs on blockchain. So this is our goal, to combine the usability and the usability of old platforms to which people are accustomed with blockchain technology. As you can see in our Lite client, it's pretty basic at the moment because it can do a lot of things, but you can see the approach. It's very, you know, it's very easy. It's just a Chrome plugin. You just install it in one click. You can transfer Waves tokens. It's easy. Anybody can use it. You don't have to download blockchain. You don't have to wait for the blockchain download. You can use it right after you install it. So this is our goal, to make it really easy and usable.
So Loop Trader in the chat is, and for you guys that are listening to Radio Stakepool, you can ask questions through Twitter at Stakepool.com. Loop Trader is asking, is the blockchain currently being security audited by an external tier? He means ethical hacking, or are you having a team that is trying to break the chain, destroy it, you know, make sure that every single backdoor can be discovered by your own people before it's discovered by somebody else?
Yeah, actually, we are not making it, you know, accessible to anybody now, because we control the full nodes at the moment and checking everything on our own for now. After that, we're going to approach some security firms that will be doing the audit of the platform, and also we're going to have bounties on the testnet. So at the same time, probably. So because it's quite hectic now, you know, after the launch with the exchange and stuff like that. When it settles down, we're going to have next week probably. We'll start offering bounties for breaking the testnet, and we'll see how it goes from there. At the same time, we're going to work with security firms who could audit the code, not only to try to penetrate the system, but having access to the actual to auditing the code. Anybody can have access to the code because it's open source, but security firms will be more focused on evaluating the validity of the code, and the hackers, like the white hackers, will be breaking the testnet. So after all recent events, I think it's very important to make sure that it all works as intended.
Yes, because worst case scenario, let's imagine for a second that Facebook, IBM, Microsoft, and Apple are listed on the Waves platform. After all, it's a stock exchange, so they could, if they wanted to. You need to make sure that the platform is secure, right? That nobody can steal any Apple shares from another shareholder, right?
Absolutely, yes. So it's, you have to take a certain risk, of course. You can't be 100% sure, but we'll try to minimize the risks because it's very important, for the validity of the platform to make sure that everything works. And I plan everything in such a way that we could have as few problems as possible. So, for example, you can say that we don't allow people to install the full nodes, but it can be risky. So if we control them for a month and then we'll check everything and then allow everyone to install the full nodes and nothing breaks, it's going to be great. It could be, we lose decentralization at the moment, but at the same time we gain some kind of confidence in the security, in the current security of our system. So I think it's good. We have to wait a little bit to check everything and then to make the system properly decentralized.
So in normal software, we have this version starting at 1. If it is a real release, right? You are not at 1 yet, you are at 0 point something. How long alpha and beta period do you think is necessary before Waves platform can be completely white and have a version number starting with 1, for example?
We're going to have the alpha at the end of the year, I think. So, and the beta is the next year. So, because, you can't move faster than that. And we'll try to limit all our risks. But realistically, we can have the system which is completely tested and secure earlier than in 1 year. You have to be realistic about that. No one did that faster, and probably we won't either. So we're going to have beta next year, I think.
Understandable. That's a good time period. We also have some more questions here. Let's see. Questions are coming in from all over the world here.
One of them.
Okay, so Saint Nuke again is raising a good question here. Will there be any use for rebate coins like Plutons in the Wave system? Discussion on them being rewards for people investing into project. Plutons is a payment platform, near frequent system. I don't know if you know about it, but that's the headline.
Sure, probably yes, because what is blockchain token? It's something which has value. It can be not only monetary value, it can be any value, reputation value, whatever. It can be rebate tokens. We are talking to several projects who want to issue their discount coupons or rebate tokens. They can be used in discount systems, in bonus programs, Tokens can be anything. Only your imagination limits this, the usage of the coins, of the tokens, So we're building the ultimate token platform, after all, because you can do many things with tokens on the blockchain, because they represent any kind of value. So not only monetary, but any kind of value. So I think that this usage has only been just tapped into. There are so many different approaches, so different directions of the token usage. And people are going to figure out very many new ways to use blockchain tokens in the near future. So rebate tokens, bonus tokens, reputation tokens, shares, votes. You can vote. You can have some voting tokens. Very many ways. Everything that has value can be represented as a token on blockchain. So only the sky is the limit here.
BDids is asking, or also stating, security through obscurity is not security, he says. A bounty isn't sufficient because why accept a bounty when you can just own everything? Do you have programmers who have security backgrounds? And I will add, if not, are you headhunting?
Yes, absolutely, sure. So we are approaching, as I told you, we're approaching some security firms. And if we have some people who have experience with security in-house, no, not yet. Yeah, no, I will. Yeah, I can say that we don't have a hacker in our team at the moment, or some security specialist. But yes, it's a good idea. Yeah, because we wanted to approach some security specialists to work with us, but we didn't succeed yet. So, but we'll find someone. So at the moment, we're gonna work with external companies who will be providing security audit, and eventually we'll find someone who will work on security within our team too.
Wow. You guys sure pushed him on that. You finally got him to say it, didn't you? Did you hire a professional hacker to try and wreck you so that nobody will wreck you in the future? Like, you know what, Sasha, everybody's kind of scared and terrified over the things that happen. It's not normal what happened at Dow, guys. I think Sasha's got this stuff put together. I just wanted to insert one last little quick blip from me, Sasha. I do interviews with devs like yourself. My last one was with Vitalik Buterin. My next one's with Max Kordek. And I would like to try and arrange something with you. I don't talk about blockchain boredom, though. It's a little bit different. And it's definitely underground. Bitcoin media. I don't like to have huge mainstream or anything like that.
Thank you very much.
I'm gonna introduce you to later after this is over, so you can get on what's your show called now, Rick?
Crypto After Dark.
Crypto After Dark. Loop Trader picked up a rumor here, Sasha. He says that he overheard some whispers on the Slack about a Waves Visa card. Is there anything truth about that? And
yeah.
He also says that Sasha is a rock star.
Well, I would like to be one. Unfortunately, I'm not, But as for the Visa card, we are approaching very many businesses and financial businesses, and we are being approached by many businesses too. So there is lots of action, So I am constantly talking to people, to negotiating. So we're going to have the Visa card, Some businesses will offer a Visa card, that's for sure. We are talking to very many potential gateways now. So it's because the moment is very good now. I think that it's a revolutionary moment now when some business processes and even societal processes are changing. Like in front of us. So the action is really, is really intense. So we're going to have the Visa card for sure, I think, So some third-party service, because we are providing the technology, you have to differentiate between our team and the businesses that are going to work on our platform, and they will be providing all types of payment services. That's for sure. And we're going to have to work on the tech to make it possible. We're going to work on the technology and to attract businesses to our platform, to issue Visa cards, to issue MasterCards, all possible payment instruments on our platform. We're going to have it.
That sounds good. I don't see any new questions here. Anybody have some last questions here that hasn't been asked?
Yeah, I've got one. Sasha, have you set any incentives for already existing systems such as PayPal to implement the Waves platform onto their system?
Yeah, I think yes, actually. Why not? Because when using the blockchain platform, when using blockchains, you reduce your costs. You just outsource your IT infrastructure to decentralized cloud. I think it's doable because we are approaching payment systems. Okay, not as big as PayPal. They'll figure it out on their own, I think. But we are approaching some smaller systems, and they are interested because they obtain new users. They reduce their costs because you don't have to have so many servers. You can just outsource it to the decentralized network. It's great, I think. I think that blockchains are a natural environment for value transfer because people didn't figure it out yet, But it's just natural. There are many payment systems are asking, what are the benefits? They can see the benefits, but they will see it because it's just natural to have share issue, financial instruments issue on blockchain, and to have value transfer on blockchain is just natural. People just didn't figure it out yet, but they're gonna do it. And then most payment systems will work on blockchains. I think it's very very feasible and very real. So, and PayPal too, probably they will have their own blockchain, but smaller payment systems will be coming to open blockchains and use existing technologies instead of building their own. So we're doing exactly that. We want to offer an open blockchain for any business that needs it. So they don't have to invent the wheel. They can use the existing open blockchain. And I think it can really change the way that businesses operate.
I see. Thanks for the answer. And also, additional to that, when, let's say, PayPal or another platform uses the Waves platform, are they able to set their own fees for the transactions? Or
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we're going to be working on paying the fees in tokens themselves. So, for example, if you transfer a USD token, you pay the fees also in USD. It's doable. So, actually, under the hood, the fees will be paid in Waves still, but for the end user, it won't be obvious. He can see that the fees are paid in USD. So. Also, we can issue some custom tokens we can implement some custom tokens where the issuer can also determine the fees. It's doable. Yes.
I see. Thanks for the answer.
Saint Newcastle follow-up question here.
Okay, we got some echo. Okay. St. Nuke wants to know if you are concerned about that the price of Waves has not gone up from the ICO price. Both DTX and Lisk were significantly higher immediately after they hit exchanges. Has the buyback been a significant amount of the volume, he wants to know?
Actually, we set the buy walls at the ICO price, so I don't think that it's important that Waves tokens, just double in value right now or triple. Why do they have to? It's a long-term project. Guys, sorry, but I don't care about the price that much. It's good for publicity, of course, but at this stage, I don't think that Waves should cost much more than they cost at the ICO. Sorry, guys, I don't think it's needed now because it's a long-term project, and in the long run, Waves are gonna cost much more. But at this stage, we are just launching. So we have to implement the features, we have to keep our promises, we have to realize what we have to realize, So at this stage I don't think it makes sense to wait to really expect that the price is gonna skyrocket right now. I think it can later, I can't promise you anything, but I'm working on the technology, and if we do it right, the price is going to be really high. So, but it's not the right time for this now. We are just launching, guys. Please have a little patience. If you just want to dump the coin and, be done with it, probably you chose a wrong coin. We're a long-term project. We're focusing on real business. So please have a little patience, and you're going to be rewarded for this.
Bally1 wants to further a little bit here and say, so why did you tweet yesterday? Last time to buy cheap coins?
Because I think that we're gonna move up from here, not down. So okay, it can last for like several days or maybe weeks even, But yes, we won't go down. We'll be going only up. So I think both in technology and the price probably should reflect the development of the technology. So I can't say that we implemented something significant yet. I must say that we promised a lot, but the implementation, it's not that not that cool yet. We have some prototype and we have some basic function there. You can see what our idea is, what our approach is, what we are trying to achieve, but the functionality is not there, guys. Don't forget about that. So we have to implement some features that are crucial to our system, and then, of course, the token price should and will have to skyrocket or whatever. So please have some patience.
I'd like to make a quick comment and a quick question. So this only pertains to the Twitter post that was made. My comment is the question. Sasha, have you had maybe a lot of people kind of bothering you about the price of the coin, and then that might have led to the Twitter posting and even the comment, because the two comments were kind of strange. You started with, people shouldn't expect a rise and people should be more patient. But then we moved into, it is cheap coin and people should grab cheap coin now.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, okay, yeah. I acknowledge that. Yeah, sure. Because, you have some pressure,
I just feel that the community's probably pressuring you really heavily about price. That's kind of my question. Do you feel that they are? Because I know they've asked a few times in here, and I'm kind of on your side with this. I think let the price discover itself, right?
Absolutely, I love the community, so I feel that people are kind of, not happy about that, so I just, I can feel some pressure, and I can really cave in sometime, I won't do it often, and but probably that tweet was just to please people in a way. So don't push the developers. You can see what happens when you push the developers. when they lose their cool, their control, some DAO situations happen. Don't push the developers. Let the things evolve. Let the price discover itself. Let the teams work, without pressure, and it's gonna be good for everyone. So have a little patience, and everything's gonna be good. So put a little less pressure, guys. Yeah.
I haven't heard anybody ask Sasha yet, or maybe they have, what he's spending the money on, or the ICO funds. I kind of heard a little bit of, this, that, but just a touch of exactness when pertains to just the following, because I don't want to jump too much in the future. So this summer, what do you see in your growth this summer? Are you just going to be traveling, promoting? Are you bearing down to get a brick and mortar building so you guys can start operating in there? What is your next 90 days going to be like operating as the CEO of the Waves coin? What do you expect how your life is going to be?
Yeah, actually I have to travel a little bit. I have to go to a conference or to several conferences. Also I have to talk to some partners, to some payment providers who are interested in maintaining gateways. So I have to travel. Actually, I didn't have time to travel yet, but it's time to travel a little bit to conferences and to events. So also I'll be overlooking the development. Also I'll be recruiting some new coders. I hope to find some star coders, some people who have the ability to code really quality code, and also have some experiences with blockchains and some passion for blockchains. So we're going to attract maybe some new coders. We're going to implement our plans. And I'm going to be promoting the platform whenever I can, So I'll be traveling a little bit in July to a conference, to a couple of conferences, and I'm going to be meeting some partners in different countries. Yes.
Well, I think we have emptied most of the people that had questions.
I was interested if Waves platform will have a charting system similar to other exchanges for traders, and yes, that was my.
Yeah, sure, it can be implemented in the light client easily. Yeah, because it's not the most needed feature right now, but in future we can have it. Yeah, sure, it's not complicated. Yeah, you have to use the right charting libraries because they're really intensive computationally usually. So you have to really be really choosy here because you don't have to code it from scratch probably, but you have to implement them properly because some exchanges have problems with their charting. So it's really they have heavy load from charts. So you have to approach this carefully. But we'll have it, sure.
And trading-wise, I'm not sure. These are plans for the future. These are non-technical. I'm not sure. Is there going to be margin trading? This is
within the platform. Probably not. No. It can't be done. I don't know how to implement margin trading on blockchain in a decentralized way. How can you do that? I don't know that. If you can, just tell me.
I have no idea. Send out the tokens for that purpose.
I've seen something actually, some proposals, but I have to look deeper because you have to have some decentralized escrow for the margin balances. I don't know how it could work actually, and I don't know. Probably you can't really get used of centralized exchanges. You won't be able to get used of them because. They will be more comfortable for people in next decade or maybe more because they will work faster, because they will have more features for traders, for speculators. You can't have everything on blockchain. You can't really kill all centralized systems, all centralized exchanges. They will exist. So probably margin trading should be done on centralized platforms. So I don't think it's bad actually. It's okay.
It's understandable. In a trustless system, it is kind of difficult to implement.
I don't know how actually. So
we are reaching out to tens of thousands of people, and a big core of our listeners and our readers, and also our Teamspeak users. If you're new to blockchain or Bitcoin, you should join Stakepool Teamspeak and be part of the regular day-by-day crew that is in here 24/7. Even on Christmas, there will be people in here trading something. And one of the questions that I see is popping up in private message and in the public chat here is about headhunting. And I want to just ask you the broad question. Because we're reaching out to so many people, you now have the opportunity to tell the people what you're looking for. What talent in the development team are you looking for? Are you looking for legal representation? If you are, what kind of? What are you headhunting for now? What qualifications should they have?
yeah, we are looking for star coders with passion for blockchain technology. You know, you have to be a cool coder, and you have to love blockchains and understand what they can be used for. If you are this type of person, we're going to work together and we're going to both profit from it, you know. So if you are passionate about blockchains, if you had some blockchains projects in your portfolio, please contact us. We'll try to work something out. So this is the area where coders are the rock stars, you know. So I'm gonna do my best so that your work is comfortable, that you can achieve your goals. So because I want to make people do things they love to do, you know. So just approach us if you want to work on blockchains, be rewarded for this, and to work on something which can have value in the long run, you know. So we are very open to all kinds of propositions. If you have some ideas about the possible directions of development, if you have some cool technical hacks, if you just want to work on blockchain technology professionally, if you were interested in it, like, you know, in your spare time, and you want to focus on it now, and you are a great coder, please approach us. We'll have a job for you.
All right. I think that was all the questions we had time for today. I don't see anything popping up right now. I think most of the people have been satisfied with their answers. I just want to thank Sasha Ivanov of Waves platform for joining Stakepool Teamspeak this evening here in Peru, afternoon here in Peru. If there is anything on the end here, no? I think you answered everybody, Sasha.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me. It was really nice questions. I hope to be here again sometime later. Thank you, guys. Ride on the waves.
Ride on the waves. You heard it here on Stakepool Teamspeak and Stakepool Radio. Thank you for listening to Stakepool Radio during this AMA. Ask Me Anything with Sasha Ivanov from the Waves platform. I think it is one of the most interesting and absolutely worth your time reading about Waves. Maybe invest in Waves. Do your due diligence with Waves. We have provided questions. Sasha has answered them. My name is Fursticken. I'm the owner of Stakepool. We interview people here. We talk about coins, ICOs, fintech, and we ask ruthless questions, and we have been around since the early days. Since 2009 I've been in Bitcoin. Since 2014 Stakepool Teamspeak has been open for communication. And I'd like to thank everybody that joined us today on Stakepool, on the Teamspeak, and on Twitter. I see we got hundreds of new followers just this last hour. I want to thank all of you for listening in, and we'll keep doing this. We'll keep providing you with exact information from the source, from the horse's mouth. No rumors, no question is too dumb to be answered, and we'll announce more AMAs later as we go along. So thank you to everybody that has been here, especially thank you to Sasha for your patience and for answering everybody's question. Thank you to all of you guys on the radio station that has been listening, and to the Waves Slack group. We'll also upload this to stakepool.com today and on SoundCloud. And there is also plenty of bloggers and journalists in Stakepool Teamspeak that have their own recordings of this conversation. So I expect you will be hearing from them as well. So avoid losing money. Always, that's rule number 1. Do not lose money. I am Fursticken. I'm the guy that want to trade some shit coins, and I don't lose money. And you shouldn't too. So stay tuned with Stakepool. Thank you for this wonderful event, and we'll be back with more stuff later.
Stakepool Teamspeak, Stakepool Radio, Stakepool.com. Run and operated and communicated by the longest survivors in cryptocurrency.